All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're talking about every single way you can get rich in 2025. And I mean every way. We're going to break down all the paths from the ones that are just pure dumb luck to the ones that are just, well, brutally difficult. This is all about how people are actually making money right now.
It's the big question, isn't it? Everybody wants to know. But look, the old playbook, it's been completely torn up and rewritten. Yeah, the classic ladders to success, they're still around. But now, you've also got these crazy high-speed elevators and, a lot of trapdoors along the way.
Yeah, exactly. That slow 40-year grind to retirement, that's not the only game in town anymore, not by a long shot. The paths we're seeing pop up now are way faster, infinitely riskier, and, let's be honest, a whole lot weirder than just, sticking your money in an index fund.
And this quote, man, it just nails the dream, doesn't it? It's not just about having a big number in your bank account. It's about what that number gets you, the freedom, the lifestyle. So let's get into it. How are people really making this happen today?
Okay, first up, let's talk about the path that requires absolutely zero skill and like 100% pure luck. We're calling this section the Cosmic Lottery. This is for the people who didn't just win the game, they were literally born on the winner's podium.
And our first archetype here is the inheritor. I mean, this one's super simple. You were just born into money. That's it. No strategy, no grind, just the sheer random luck of the genetic draw. And this really just lays out their so-called struggle perfectly, right? The method, you were born. The result, you won a lottery you didn't even know you were playing. And the downside, existential dread. Which, let's be real, probably feels a little different when you're driving your Lambo to go tee off on a Tuesday morning.
All right, next up in our Cosmic Lottery is the gambler. Now, this person doesn't inherit their luck. Oh no. They try to summon it, like lightning in a bottle, in one single all-or-nothing moment. They're betting their entire future on odds that are just impossible. Okay, this number. It looks completely insane, right? But there's actually math behind it. This is what happens if you take a single $100 bill, put it on black at a roulette table, and just let it ride 14 times in a row. It's statistically ridiculous, of course, but it perfectly captures that gambler's dream, turning pocket change into an absolute fortune, literally overnight.
Okay, so let's move on from pure random luck and step into what we're calling the digital Wild West. This is a place where entire fortunes are built and destroyed at the speed of a viral tweet. It is all about high risk and, maybe even more importantly, high clout.
And our first resident of this crazy world is a true product of our era, the meme coin millionaire. This is the person who gets rich, and I mean like stupid rich, off a cryptocurrency that literally began its life as a joke.
And this quote, it just says everything, doesn't it? It just perfectly captures the absolute beautiful absurdity of how this happens. There is no strategy, there's no plan, it's just pure unfiltered internet chaos that somehow results in unimaginable wealth.
And here is the strategy, if you can even call it that. It's not a financial plan, it's more like a cosmic fluke. You get a tip from a friend, you throw in what you'd spend on coffee for a week, and then you just watch a literal joke turn into millions of dollars. The key thing to understand here is the complete, total, 100% absence of skill.
Okay, moving on to another modern, high-risk path that's all about the digital world, the top-tier OnlyFans creator. Now, this is arguably one of the most polarizing and definitely one of the highest stakes plays we're going to talk about today. And look, the financial upside can be absolutely staggering. I mean, just look at this chart. You have a top creator like Sophie Rain, who's reportedly pulling in more money in a single year than the highest paid NBA superstar. That's a powerful signal of how this new digital world is creating its very own celebrity economy.
But, and this is a huge but, here's the brutal flip side. The risk is catastrophic. I mean, think about it. If you start a business and it fails, you can just quietly shut it down. But here, failure is public, and it is permanent. There's no soft landing. It is an all-or-nothing gamble where what's at stake is your digital footprint forever.
All right, let's just pull a complete 180 here. We've talked about cosmic luck, we've talked about high-risk digital fame. Now we're entering a totally different universe. This is about wealth that's built not in a flash, but over decades of discipline, sacrifice, and just relentless grinding.
And first up in this category is the path that, let's face it, most of us were sold on from the day we were born, the average Joe.
This is the default playbook, right? Go to school, get a stable job, and just slowly, steadily climb that corporate ladder.
And this timeline, it just lays out that whole journey perfectly. It is long, it is predictable, and above all, it's safe. You're basically trading your time for security. And by the time you retire, you could have a net worth of almost $2 million. Now that's not private jet money for sure, but it is a life without having to worry about money.
Now, let's look at a more extreme version of this grinder, the NPC. That stands for non-player character. It's a term from video games for those background characters who just do the same thing over and over and over. This person takes the discipline of the average Joe and just cranks it up to an almost superhuman level.
So here is the crucial difference between the two, and it really all comes down to the end goal. The average Joe grinds for 40 years to buy comfort and security in retirement. The NPC, on the other hand, grinds intensely for maybe just 15 or 20 years, living this life of extreme frugality, all to buy the one thing they value more than anything else: total freedom, decades ahead of schedule.
And our last grinder is the entrepreneur. Now, they also work relentlessly, but they are not content to just climb somebody else's ladder. No, they are obsessed with building their own rocket ship, even if it means they're going to crash and burn a few times before they get it right.
And this table just captures their journey perfectly. I mean, it's basically a highlight reel of failure. Dropshipping? Failed. Clothing brand? Failed. But the true entrepreneur, they stay in the game. They're driven by the challenge itself until one of their wild ideas finally hits. And for them, the reward isn't just the $2 million buyout, it's proving that they could actually win the game.
So when you really boil it all down, these are the three main playbooks we're seeing. You can get lucky, either by being born into it or making a crazy bet. You can leverage your digital clout, which comes with that massive upside and just terrifying risk, or you can commit to the grind, whether you're doing it for security, for early freedom, or just for the love of the game itself.
And that really just leaves us with one last big question. Because every single one of these paths, it comes with a price. Whether that price is risk, or time, or your reputation, or just pure sacrifice. So the real question isn't just how to get rich. It's what are you willing to pay for it? What's your price for freedom?